So in this question, really what it's asking us is what's the volume of strong Volcadine linctus which we need to give to this patient, which will be equivalent to 150 ml of the paediatric version. Now you'll note that the paediatric version, of course, is much weaker, or 5 times weaker than the strong version of the Volcadine linctus. So we have the strengths up here. The paediatric linctus is 2 milligrams in 5 ml, and the strong Volcadine linctus is 10 milligrams in 5 ml. So the first way to work this out is try and think about how many milligrams of Volcadine is in 150 ml, which we were going to supply of the paediatric linctus. So if we start here looking at the paediatric linctus, we need 150 ml, and the strength is 2 milligrams in 5 ml. So X milligrams in 150 ml. When we cross multiply, X milligrams equals the 2 milligrams times the 150 divided by 5 ml, and it gives us the answer, sorry, not the answer, that gives us 300 divided by 5, which is 60 milligrams. And what that information tells us is that when we give this patient 150 ml of paediatric linctus, they're receiving 60 milligrams of Volcadine. What we then have to do is say, well, how many mils of strong linctus do we need to give so the patient gets 60 milligrams of Volcadine? The strong linctus is 10 milligrams in 5 ml, and therefore 60 milligrams. So it's multiplying this side by 6, so we multiply this side by 6 in 30 mils. So to recap, the patient needs 150 mils of paediatric linctus. We've worked out here that the number of milligrams of Volcadine in the 150 mils of linctus is 60 milligrams. So how many mils of the strong linctus would also give us the 60 milligrams? Well, the strong linctus is 10 milligrams in 5 ml, which is 60 milligrams in 30 ml. So the answer to this question is 30 ml. So here's an alternative way of working this out. What I find when talking to pre-regs around the country is that dilutions is one of the most feared types in the GPHC exam framework. So I'm going to explain a few different ways of working this out. This is working 2, and with working 2, I've identified from the question that I have 2 concentrations, I have 1 volume, and I'm trying to find out the missing volume. So that's what tells me that C1V1 would fit into this question. So we've got our strengths of the products here as milligrams per 5 ml, but of course to put them into the C1V1 formula, we need to turn that into a percentage. So let's start by doing that. We've got the 2 milligram in 5 ml, and to turn it into a percentage weight and volume, which is grams per 100 ml, we'll have to think about 2 milligram in 5 ml, which is the same as 40 milligrams in 100 ml. And so as a percentage, that's 0.04%. So then coming back over to the other side, I know that I have 0.04% as my first concentration. And I have 150 mils of the paediatric linctus. So let's work out now how many mils of the strong linctus we need to supply. The strong linctus is 10 milligrams in 5 ml. And to work that as a percentage, we can see that that is, if we times by 20, we'll get 200 milligrams in 100 ml, which gives us a final percentage of 0.2%. Back over to our formula here, 0.2% times V2. Now we need to work out what V2 equals. So we have our 0.04% times 150 ml divided by 0.2%, and that gives us the same answer as the previous way of working it out, which is 30 ml. So again, this question tells us, or this answer tells us that 30 ml of the paediatric strength, of the strong product, 30 ml of the strong product will give us the same number of milligrams of Volcadine as 150 ml of the paediatric product. So the answer again is 30 mil. A third way of working out this question is to try and look at the relationship between the strength of the paediatric product versus the strong product. So we can see that we need 150 mils of paediatric. So 150 mils of the paediatric. And the strength of the paediatric is 2 milligrams in 5 mil. The strength of the strong product is 10 milligrams in 5 mil. Looking at the relationship between the two, to go from number 2 to number 5, we have to multiply by 5. In other words, the strong linctus is 5 times stronger than the paediatric linctus. If it's 5 times stronger, we're going to need a volume which is 5 times less. So 150 mil divided by 5 equals 30 mil. And again, that's another way of checking if you've done it either of the previous two ways of working it out. That will also give you 30 mil, and you can do a common sense check. It's 5 times stronger, therefore we need 5 times less than 150 mil, giving us our answer of 30 mil.